everybody! I'm here today to talk to you about the best way to study the driving manual for the driving test. Now, if you want to pass your driving test, it's definitely all about practicing. You're going to practice your driving skills, but you got to have the knowledge as well. That means you got to study the driving manual. And most driving manuals are going to be really big, really lengthy, and just jam-packed with information. And it's a lot of info to take in, but you got to get that knowledge, baby. You got to get that knowledge. So I'm going to tell you how to get that knowledge in your head. Let's get right into the video. These are the simple steps. Step number 1 is read the whole thing. You want to literally, just like one time, read the entire thing from cover to cover. Every page, every word, every diagram, everything inside of the book. Cover to cover, read the whole thing. That's step number 1. Step number 2 is going to be read each individual section. So now, you want to go section by section, and you want to read for comprehension. When you read the whole thing for step 1, you're just like, just read the whole thing. Get a good idea. You want to prime yourself. Step number 2 is read each individual section, and you're reading for comprehension. So you're slowing it down, looking at the diagrams a little bit more, and then you want to read for comprehension each individual section. Okay, that's step number 2. Now, step number 3 is you want to go through each section again, and you want to make note of the specific things that you're not absolutely familiar with. So you want to go through each section again, reading for comprehension. And if you see that you are not familiar with a specific thing, you want to make note of it. And at the end of doing that, of step number 3, you're going to have a big list of notes. You should, unless you retained all of the information, but that's very rare. You're probably going to have a big, huge list of things that you're not exactly familiar with. Everything that's not on the list, you should be familiar with. Everything that's on the list, you're going to need to work on, okay? Step number 4 is study those things that are on the list, those unfamiliar things that are on the list. So everything that's on the list, you want to go and study those specific things. And here's why. If you read over something that you are already absolutely familiar with, it's not going to have a good return on investment, right? You might gain a little bit more understanding, but it's going to be just a morsel of additional understanding. Whereas if you read over the things that you're unfamiliar with, your return on investment is going to be much bigger. You're going to gain an understanding. So instead of going from 90% understanding to 91% understanding of the things that you're already familiar with, you're going to be going from 20% understanding to 90 or 80% understanding, let's say, a huge jump with the same amount of effort, okay? No point in redoing the things that you already know. Let's focus on the things that you need to work on, okay? That's step number 4. So go over each of those things. And then step number 5 is, step number 5, I have a list here and I almost messed it up, but I got myself back on track with that knowledge. Step number 5 is you want to quiz yourself. So literally, there are lots of online quizzes that you can do, but try and make up your own quiz or ask someone that's had their license for many years, or even someone that just got their license that is familiar with the test. Ask them to quiz you, okay? Quiz yourself or get someone to quiz you. See what you got right and what you got wrong on that quiz. And step number 6 is study the things that you got wrong. Because whatever you got wrong after you've done all of that studying are just going to be there should only be a few things that you don't understand fully. And you really want to focus on those things, because you'll probably know 95% of the book and of the knowledge at this point. But the last 5% is what you want to focus on. And I want you to go and take that test and get perfect, okay? Literally, I want you to get perfect on the test that requires you to study the driving manual. It's very simple. And I know you can do it, but you just got to follow these steps. And that's basically it. That is, in my opinion, the best way to study the driving manual for the driving test. It's the most effective method, in my honest opinion. It's not going to happen overnight. A lot of people want to just read it through one night and get a perfect score. Listen, that very rarely happens. If you want an almost surefire way of getting a very good score or a perfect score, as close to perfect as you can get, this is the way to do it. That's the way to study. And that's it. I really hope that you've enjoyed this video. If you liked it, please be sure to give it a thumbs up. Let me know what you think down below as a comment. And of course, be sure to subscribe for more great car and driving videos just like this one. And that's all I have for you today. Thanks for watching.